Thank you very much. Please. How are you?
Faculty involved in those two important areas where they are integrated. It's not small for research.
Thank you so much.
We have a sort of Google symbol on the back.
It represents your preferences and is that 80s music, 70s music? Is that okay? Very good. We may be
Reflection of our
similar taste.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Amity University, Haryana, I, Dr. Shweta Tripathi from Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, Amity University, Haryana, extends a very warm welcome to all of you for the celebration of World Environment Day 2024. Today, we gather here to celebrate a day that reminds us the importance of our planet, its ecosystem, and the need for environment conservation. Welcome to the celebration of World Environment Day. This year, the theme is Our Land, Our Future, focusing on land restoration, desertification, and drought resilience. We are Generation Restoration. Without further ado, let us commence the proceeding of this auspicious event. To kickstart this event, we have with us our visionary leader, Dr. Paras Chawla, has received his MTech and PhD degree from NIT Kurukshetra and Thapar University, respectively. Completed one-year online PG postgraduate program in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning from Purdue University, USA, and master course program from IBM. He has more than 21 years of academic, research, industry, and administration experience, and currently working as a professor and director, Amity School of Engineering Technology, ACIT, and Amity Institute of Information Technology, AIIT, Amity University, Haryana. He has received Conventor Scholarship Award from Mansfield, New Mexico, USA, for his proposal titled Performance Analysis of RF Front Section of Mobile Terminal using RF MEMS DC Contact Switches under the name of Conference Commercialization of Micro Nano System Conferences, CMOX. So, sir, requesting you to present.
A very good morning, esteemed guests, Honorable Chancellor Dr. Aseem Chauhanji, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor P.D. Sharmaji, esteemed Vice Chancellor Professor Vikas Madhukar, distinguished Deans, Director, Head of Institution, Head of Departments, respected colleagues, and my dear students. It is my honor to welcome you all to the University of Haryana on this momentous occasion as we celebrate World Environment Day 2024. We are privileged to have a distinguished delegation from Google with us today, and I extend warm welcome to our honored guest. The genesis of this event at Amity is Institution, Innovation Council, Ministry of HRD, initiated together with Amity School of Earth and Environmental Sciences and Amity School of Engineering and Technology supported equally. Today we gather not only to celebrate the environment, but to reaffirm our commitment to sustainable practices and innovations that can help preserve our planet. This year's theme emphasizes the need for collective action to restore land and ecosystems, protect biodiversity, and combat climate change. The theme AI integration with climate intelligence highlights the pivotal role that artificial intelligence can play in understanding and mitigating climate change. It underscores the importance of leveraging advanced technologies, including AI and machine learning techniques, with equally supported by data analytics to monitor air quality and mitigate air and vehicular pollution effectively. At MIT University Haryana, we have always believed in the power of collaboration and innovation. Our students and professors are engaged in groundbreaking research and projects aimed at addressing environmental changes or challenges. The displays you saw earlier and presented during this particular event are a testament to our commitment and the ingenuity of our academic community. The integration of AI in climate intelligence open up new avenues for monitoring environmental changes, prediction climate patterns, variables, and developing sustainable solutions. By harnessing AI for smart city, intelligent system, and agri-tech, we can create a future where technology and sustainability go hand in hand. Today, we have the unique opportunity to learn from and interact with experts who are at the forefront of this technology revolution. As we proceed with today's program, I hope it will inspire new ideas and foster partnerships that can drive meaningful change. The presence of our esteemed guest from Google underscores the importance of leveraging technology and global cooperation in our environmental efforts. In conclusion, let us remember that every small action counts. Together, through education, innovation, and collaboration, we can make a significant impact. Let us pledge to steward to the environment, working towards a sustainable and resilient future to all. Thank you, and I look forward to an inspiring and fruitful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chawla, for setting the tone of today's event. Dr. Vikas Madhukar is a thought leader and institutional builder. He specializes in finance and strategy and holds his doctorate in international finance from Kurukshetra University. Dr. Madhukar has emerged as an influential academician renowned for his remarkable contribution and exemplary leadership. He is presently working as a Pro Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Gurugram, and Dean Faculty of Management Studies, Director, Amity Business School, and also heading the Amity Innovation Incubation and leading entrepreneurship and startup initiative. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shweta. Our most respected Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhan sir, respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P.V. Sharma, our very distinguished experts from Google, those they are lead and head of the respective vertical in respective country, deans of Amity University, Haryana, and my dear colleague. On behalf of our Honorable Founder President, Dr. P. Chauhan, and on behalf of our Chancellor, on behalf of entire Amity fraternity, I am most delighted to extend a very warm welcome to our expert team from Google to this very important forum, where in next 1 hour we are going to listen to this eminent expert on their views on how the artificial intelligence can be leveraged to combat the major issues and problems related to climate and environment. We are most delighted to have our innovative and visionary leader, Dr. Asim Chauhan sir, who is Chancellor of this university and who is also looking after various other Amity Universities campuses, not only in India, but also overseas. Dr. Asim sir is known for his innovative leadership and his vision. He is president of our Amity Innovation Incubator, which has incubated more than 400 companies till date. And this incubator is supported by Government of India, Niti Aayog, and contributed immensely in incubated large number of business startups, particularly in the area of AI application in various sectors.
And with Google as a partner.
And Google as a partner. Right. So I was just before this session, we enter into this room. So I had a very long discussion with Mr. Ad Baron, and I was just trying to understand his agenda. And he said that his first visit to India, and of course to the university, and where I had briefed him about the various things, various activities, what the university has been doing, and of course the vision of the founding father of Amity, that how since inception of the first Amity education institution in the country, the management and the senior management is committed to the cause of combating climate issue, and how as a university we can contribute to resolve many issue and contribute not only to the society but also to the nation. So where I had discussion on the various aspects, the kind of programs we are offering at the university, the kind of quality graduate what we have produced in the past, and those they are making wonders in the country. In fact, I was so delighted to see yesterday when I was going through the LinkedIn profile of our one of the esteemed guests from Google, Miss Rowley, who is the proud alumnus of Amity University. She completed her postgraduate diploma in management in a batch 2000-2002. So very happy to receive you at the Amity University. And similarly, we have large number of our alumnus, those they are making making wonders in the industry, not only in India but also abroad. Thank you, Honorable Chancellor Sir, for sparing your valuable time and come here. And this shows the commitment of Amity and our management towards the cause of climate and sustainability. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Srinivasa Reddy, who is Managing Director of Google for Government and Public Policy. Actually, he's a man behind to initiate a dialogue between Amity and Google, and he, along with Mr. Siddharth Sinha, they were here in the campus last week on Monday only, where we had detailed discussion, and in fact there was a presentation from our side, and also there was a presentation made by Mr. Reddy and also Mr. Siddharth on the various initiative which the Google is taking, particularly in the area of AI, and how have they collaborated with various government and industry, and of course with a few selected universities, and they have shown their intent to collaborate with Amity University, Haryana, and to work in the area of AI and to make Amity University, Haryana a hub to implement the AI initiative in the state of Haryana. So I'm so thankful to Mr. Reddy, and in fact to you, Mr. Siddharth, that within a week, like you've been able to coordinate with other senior eminent member from Google team and able to put together on this forum. Thank you very much. And I was so excited to see the presentation which Mr. Siddhartha has made on that day, where he had mentioned about how the Google as such is contributing to this cause, and the application they have developed were wonderful. Like they have developed a flood warning system. So the flood warning system is able to warn the possibility of flood 2 weeks before. So that is giving an ample and adequate time to the government, to the people to evacuate and make arrangement. And this is how they are saving lives of the millions of people. And similarly, he talked about another very important application, that how AI can contribute in optimizing the traffic light solution, which is not only contributing in the smooth flow of traffic movement in the city, but also saving fuel of millions of dollars, and of course, that is contributing to the sustainability. So thank you, Mr. Siddharth, for your wonderful presentation on that day. And I appreciate your sincere effort to coordinate and put everyone here on this forum. We are delighted to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Ed Barron, who is the Director, Geocommerce, Payments and Public Sector, Government Affairs and Public Policy at Google from London, United Kingdom. He is responsible for leading engagement with key public sector authorities of Google key opinion former around the world and highlighting the contribution Google product can bring to key challenges, whether it is increased urbanization, climate change, sustainability, and economic growth. Prior to Google, Ed spent about 25 years in finance sector, leading government affairs teams at both PwC and AIG. We are also delighted to extend a very warm welcome to Ms. Roli Agrawal, Head of Strategic Partnership, Knowledge and Information Product Portfolio for Google India. An alumnus of Amity University, Roli heads product partnership for Google in India and more specifically for Google Maps Partnership Charter. She has a deep understanding of the mobility industry and is passionate advocate for climate and sustainability. She has played a key role in collaborating with government agencies and ecosystem players to enhance mobility experiences, public transportation accessibility, efficiency, and promoting eco-friendly option. For example, the electronic vehicle. She's a senior leader with 22 years of experience in partnership, sales, marketing, and communication, and held various leadership roles across India, Singapore, and rest of APAC. We are also expected to join by the other eminent leader from Google. I would like to mention about Mr. John Barrow, who is the head of strategic initiative and public policy, knowledge and information product, global, Google New York, United States. And Mr. John is responsible for leading the association, legal, public policy and regulatory initiative, which seek to foster innovation, promote economic growth, and empower people through the free and open internet. He has been working on technology-related legal and policy issues for about 20 years, during which he has advised companies on a wide range of issues, including data security, privacy, intellectual property enforcement, and export control. We are also expected to join by Mr. Amit Moria, who is Senior Program Manager, Air Quality, Google Singapore. He has 2 decades of program management, product management, partnership development, change management, and client management experience with leading digital native and consulting firm and contribute valuable insight to the industry. We are also expected to join by Mr. Alok Talekar, Head of Project Agriculture, Google Bangalore, who leads on sustainable agriculture in India. And we are also expected to join by Ms. Charvi Singh, who is a Program and Product Management Sustainability, Google India, Gurugram. I thank you all for your gracious presence here. So we encourage each one of you to engage with our experts and sharing your thoughts on AI, specifically to the faculty and to the eminent scientists of the university, that it is a right platform to showcase the kind of work you and your students have done, the kind of projects you have undergone, and the kind of ideas you have in your mind, and where, of course, the Google can extend its support and jointly we can contribute immensely in the related area. So we look forward to explore the avenue of collaboration between Google and AUH in area of mutual interest and expertise. We will discuss how we can leverage AI application for shared goals and create a positive impact on both our community in and the global environment. Once again, a very warm welcome to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Madhukar, for your insightful words. To appraise us more, I would like to introduce Dr. P.B. Sharma, eminent academician. Professor P.B. Sharma is currently the Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Gurugram, has been the founder Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi Pradyogiki Vishwavidyalaya, RGPV, and also the Delhi Technological University, DTU. Professor Sharma is a founder professor of IIT Delhi, former principal of Delhi College of Engineering and past president of Association of Indian Universities. A doctorate from University of Birmingham, UK, Professor Sharma during his professional career spanning over 53 years has made distinguished contribution to the growth and development of higher education, path-breaking research and innovation in India. A renowned thought leader, Professor Sharma has immensely contributed to public awakening on various matters, including the need of inclusive and sustainable development, integrating universal human values in higher education. Recipient of many awards and recognition, Professor Sharma has been conferred with the honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering by his alma mater, University of Birmingham in July 2030, and honorary degree of Doctor of Science by Dr. K.N. Modi University in October 2019. Professor Sharma is a man of vision, institution builder known for his relentless pursuit of relevance-driven excellence for the promotion of world-quality education, research, and innovation. Now, we have the honor of hearing from Professor P.B. Sharma, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana, who will share with us the highlights of Amity University, Haryana. Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. I can assure you that the Honorable Founder President and Honorable Chancellor would have not selected me had the biodata not been so impressive. But leaving that apart, ladies and gentlemen, what a great privilege and honor it is for Amity University, Haryana, to welcome our own Honorable Chancellor, along with the Google team visiting our university today, a very strong delegation led by Mr. Siddharth Sinha, supported by our Google UK head, Mr. Ed Baron, Rolly Agarwal coming all the way from Google Gurugram. Every time I pass through, I look at the Google on my left and I get inspired that we have the strong presence of such a high and mighty, not very far from our own university. What a great privilege and honor it is for me to join my Pro-Vice Chancellor, the heads of the institutions present here, the members of the faculty, and my very dear research scholars and students to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you. We are so privileged and delighted to have you today because we are also celebrating 2 days in advance the World Environment Day. So important for each one of us to remind ourselves of the great responsibility that we all shoulder to create a world of our own dream where not only the fair prosperity, but alongside with environmental sustainability, the good health of the people and the environment, and of course, transparency, integrity, and inclusivity become the hallmark of driving the agenda of our development tomorrow. We're also truly delighted that we are meeting at a time when the new government of India is about to be formed, maybe tomorrow or day after, and tremendous amount of enthusiasm and euphoria prevails in our country, in the minds of those who are at the helms of affairs, but also in the university, the learned community of the professors, the student, everybody jumping on their feet to ensure that we contribute our share to solving not only the problem that we have here at our doorstep, but also the mega challenges being confronted by the global community. And it is with that backdrop of understanding of our role and responsibility, we were so delighted to welcome our Google team here at Amity University. And when I mentioned this to my Honorable Chancellor, Sir said I will be personally present myself because occasion like this is a great opportunity for us to pull together our brains and minds and draw the strategic directions of working together so that together as a whole, we contribute, in fact, to the growth and development of the global humanity who is looking towards people like you in the corporate and people like us here in the university with great hope and expectations to create the world in which the younger generation would like to live. I'm truly delighted to have my younger student community, research scholars, and my learned teachers also present here in great number. Each one of us are conscious under the inspirational direction and leadership of our Honorable Chancellor that the responsibility that we have on our shoulder is not just to impart the education for the degree which they will undoubtedly earn, but to prepare them for the future readiness for which the world is looking at people of competence and caliber. And it is in that respect, with all the responsibility of the Vice Chancellor. So Vice Chancellor, heads of the institution, everyone present here in the university targeted. We are also so delighted to mention that we are conscious of the employability and also conscious of the new gen entrepreneurship and ensuring that our research and innovations at the university are targeted and aligned to the national as well as the global needs. And we are in a position to provide ample opportunity for our student community as well as the faculty to translate their ideas into innovations, new product development in areas where they are able to integrate the latest advancement of scientific explorations and also technology innovation to drive the agenda to ensure that the university lead by example in terms of empowering our nation and the global community with the kind of layers of competence and caliber that is required to confront the challenges of today and that of tomorrow. We are also in our university, as has been informed by the Pro-Vice Chancellor, highly conscious about our contributions to ensure that we ride together on the layers of sustainability. Every single drop of wastewater in this campus is treated and reutilized within the campus, including the house of the Vice Chancellor and his office, to give the conviction that we mean and we wish to practice what we preach. We also, in fact, harvest the entire rainwater in our campus to over 120 plus rainwater harvesting pits. We are in a position to ensure that the air quality in the campus remains well within the limits prescribed by WHO. We are far better than what you would have in the Millennium City at full ground near the Google office, and for that reason, the capital city of Delhi. And all this we are doing consciously to ensure that we contribute our share of research and development also in this direction. And I'm very happy that people like PCS Devra, Professor Devra, connected online today. He is the one who spearheaded the effort in the direction of air quality monitoring, modeling, and analysis at our university, now supported by Professor I.S. Thakur from the Environmental Earth and Environmental Science, Professor H.R.P. Yadav from my School of Engineering, Environmental Engineering and Technology, Dr. Ela Gupta sitting here supporting us in our design and understanding of how the whole idea of urbanization of tomorrow could be driven by our intelligent integration of artificial intelligence to provide solutions so that not only we grow in terms of habitat, but also with cheers and smiles and good health of environment and the people. And a whole lot of people coming. In fact, my Professor Paras Chawla, who just spoke who delivered the welcome address, he along with his team of Professor Sikka, Dr. Salni, Bhaskar Bajaj, and the young people like Manoj Pandey and Dr. Tripathi, Dr. Khushbu Tripathi sitting there, and another Tripathi who was in fact comparing Dr. Sanjeev Sarma, Dr. Subra Das from my renewable energy, Sanjeev Sarma from my nanoscience and technology, Dr. Atul Thakur and the team, in fact, were deeply committed to ensuring that the advancement of nanoscience and technology and artificial intelligence drive the agenda of tomorrow's manufacturing and new technologies which would be required to strengthen our layers of sustainability. Deepa Suhag and several others here, including my people from the law school who are very much conscious that environmental laws and regulations must create a law-abiding citizenship, and our commitment to maintenance of clean environment actually should be ensured. In my school of academic staff college actually that I have headed by Dr. Sanjana Bej and her team, they are all consciously preparing the team of faculty members, not only of my university, but from university from around the country, and giving them the best of the perception to shape them as the leaders of tomorrow so that collectively we pool our strength together. We are very much conscious of our responsibility of working together with the industry and corporate. That's why people like you are very important for us, because the agenda of tomorrow's scientific advancement and technology innovations cannot be delivered alone by the university and its intelligence here. We have to augment our intelligence by using artificial intelligence, and we have to utilize the artificial intelligence-enabled machines and systems of tomorrow to deliver this promise that we make to the people of the world at large. And it is in that respect, the Amity University, Haryana, is totally geared, in fact, to address this challenge. We wish to work with you and work with people who are in the area of sustainability to give a conviction that when we celebrate the World Environment Day today, we are gearing ourselves with head, heart, and soul to address the challenges that we have, and we put our share of our contributions in the direction so that the sustainable development goals put together for the community of nations are achieved within the time frame provided for it. So I have my great expectations and hope from my own community of learned people that I have in the university and the partnership that we have and we are going to have tomorrow with Google and other like-minded MNCs to address this challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to give a warm welcome to our Honorable Chancellor and the very strong Google team at our university. Having said this very quickly, let me run through a structured presentation just to give you a bird's-eye view of what we have achieved and where we wish to go with your partnership. We are very privileged to have our Honorable Founder President, in fact, who is a great visionary leader, a great educationist, who understands what not only India requires, but what the world requires. How can you drive the agenda of advantage India along with the advantage global world? That is exactly very dear to our Honorable Founder President, a visionary leader for whom the world quality education, research, and innovation is not just a mission, but a passion which he is driving by working not less than 20 hours per day, despite the fact that Honorable Founder President is 80 plus today. And yet he is ensuring that not only Amity University, Haryana here, but all Amity universities grow taller and contribute actually to the growth of eminence of our nation for the benefit of the global community. Our own Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Asim Chauhanji, is an epitome of immense innovative insight and a global higher education leader and a great team motivator who is inspiring all of us here in Amity University, Haryana, to innovate and excel and other Amity universities of which Sir is the Chancellor and the President. And we are taking tremendous amount of guidance from our Honorable Chancellor. We are very privileged, really speaking. Most of the universities you go, chancellors are not all that educated. But here you have a chancellor who is far more educated than the total intelligentsia of the university put together. Such like great advantage Amity is something which people perhaps outside may not understand. That's exactly what is driving the agenda of Amity to rise to the global esteem. We are one of the largest education group in the whole world today, with 13 universities within India and almost 17 campuses abroad. And we are working with head, heart, and soul to ensure that the quality is right, the employability is addressed, and also entrepreneurship of the kind which the world requires tomorrow is rolled out from the university portals. We are also joined by our very senior officers, in fact, present here, our Rear Admiral K.K. Pandey, our squadron leader S.K. Singh, Director Administration, Dr. Kohli from Department of Science and Technology, who brings wealth of experience with him. In fact, Professor UN Singh, the wealth of experience of arts and allied literature. And then we have our own registrar, Dr. Manuja, and a whole lot of other young people who are highly inspired to make a profound difference in the life of the people, life of the global community tomorrow. So together, as we go further under the inspirational leader, we have achieved, as it been informed, the LEED Platinum certification for our campus, reserved for those institutions who provide leadership in energy efficiency, environmental sustainability, and lead from the front in terms of ensuring that highest level of compliance of energy security and environmental sustainability is achieved, not only by green building design, but also ensuring that you are able to maintain this year after year. And this was, in fact, we were the first university in the country to achieve this honor in 2017, and only second in Southeast Asia to achieve this honor. And we are very proud of our commitment and contribution to rise of sustainability from a university like ours. In fact, looking at us, the AIU has taken a resolve to mandate all universities of the country to lead by example in sustainability of the kind which we are achieving here. Our sustainability ranking, as has been informed by the Pro-Vice Chancellor, also the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking, we achieved the rank number 32 globally in affordable clean energy, sustainable development goal number 7, rank number 63 in the whole world out of almost 1,500 plus universities which participated from around 112 countries. We received for the clean water and sanitation, the world rank in the top 100 at 63, in fact. And also globally, we have been ranked as among the 106 countries altogether. Next one, we are maintaining our commitment to the quality of education, entrepreneurship, and employability. We are among the top 100 universities in the country in NIRF ranking. Our School of Law is among the top 30 at number 23. Our School of business is at among the top 100 again at 81, and we have our School of Engineering also among the top 100 in the country, and we are rising. In fact, in our rankings and accreditation, we are rising further. And college, we have also been ranked among the top 10 private schools in India, our business school, and we are among the top 20 business school in India. Today's survey, which has been recently rolled out, we have also received our rankings in the Times Education here in India. We are among the top 10, in fact, number 5. And our engineering school has also been ranked at number 16 in the country. And we are, as a university, we are among the top 20, in fact, at number 19. Go further. To drive this agenda of high quality education, research, and innovation leading to high employability and entrepreneurship of the new age, we have established world-class facilities for research and development. Last time when Mr. Srinivas Reddy was here along with Mr. Siddhartha, they've gone around to see our facilities where we have put together a central instrumentation research facility to be utilized by one and all within the community. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, my Dean of Research, sitting just by my side, strengthening my resolve on the right-hand side. In fact, is the person who spearheaded this activity with the support and innovative directions of our Honorable Chancellor, Founder President. We have a whole lot of instrumentation, in fact, geared around monitoring air quality, and we have been supported by Ministry of Earth and Environment Science of Government of India, Indian Institute of Tropical Management of Pune. We are partnering with IIT Delhi also. But what more, we also have partnership with NASA, Varad Space Flight Center, and we have signed an agreement for the next 10 years in fact, to work with them to monitor the aerosols and their impact on the human and environmental health. And we are also part of the National Network of Clean Air Monitoring and Analysis. Tomorrow, when we integrate artificial intelligence into this area, wonders can be possible actually through this effort. We have a strong team of people working in the area of air quality, headed by Professor P.C.S. Devra, supported by a team in the coast and also in a School of Environmental Science and Earth Science that we have here. Going further, we do a whole lot of innovations and engage our undergraduate students in causing innovation, making innovation a habit, and rolling out, translating their ideas into new products. Many of these innovations have been patented also, and I'm very happy to say that as many as 260 patents have been filed by our university. I've got a compendium of these patents actually printed here. And while you are listening to me, sir, you can also roll out some of the patents. Some of these patents are of very high value, in fact. Translated tomorrow into new product and new technology, they would be able to solve some of the pressing problems that we have here on our doorstep. Our research and innovation, you have had a quick look outside of the display presented by Professor Rajendra Prasad and Dr. Paras Chawla and his team of artificial intelligence. We have 109 higher end research and development projects worth 50 crores of rupees, supported by Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, ICMR, ISRO, CSIR, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and several others, including the consortia project, which we have put together so that we do not work alone. We work in partnership with high and mighty, including Indian Institute of Science, PGI Chandigarh, All India Medical Institute here, and also other universities within the country. And we are also working with European Union and also, in fact, with countries abroad on the consortium project, including working with Korea and China also, Korea and Japan, in fact, in our consortia projects actually. So this whole agenda of higher end research and development, publications and patenting is being driven. Today we have our H index of the university as high as 59, in fact. And we are rising every year at least by a count of 10 to 20 in the H index, with quality of publications and citations being maintained as a focus area at our university. 260 patents have been filed and almost 200 of them have already been published. And now they are rolling out and granting the patent. Granting takes place about 3 to 4 years in a country like ours and elsewhere as well. And these patents, in our opinion, are the solutions for a whole lot of technology that the world will require tomorrow. Going further, we have top class scientists in our university. We call them super scientists, including my Dr. Rajendra Prasad on my right hand side here, my Dean of research. Professor I.S. Thakur is on the top of the pop in terms of publication and patent and publication and citation. Dr. Atul Thakur and several others who are here. The 7 of them are currently there, and this number will rise as we join together with you and make profound contribution to the highest quality publications, citations for the country, and translating our research into innovations and product development. Going further, to drive the agenda of interdisciplinary research, we have set up research clusters under the visionary guidance of our Honorable Founder President. And these clusters include, in fact, the artificial intelligence and machine learning and robotic cluster, data science and data analytics, and higher end computing for computational biology, another research cluster. And for each of these clusters, we are very consciously monitoring the research scholars that we have registered for PhD, the projects which we have obtained, the publications that we make, the patent we file, and we are highly conscious of the outcome. And each one of them is driven by the quest to achieve the very best result out of the effort that we invest in our university. Another research cluster for drug discovery and herbal drug design, where we are paying a lot of attention to our own indigenous stock of herbs and medicinal plants that we have plenty in our own country. We have filed 22 patents for our herbal drug design and development. We also have research cluster in environmental and human health, which is headed by Professor Devra and his team. I being having interest in some of these areas, supporting them from the front, because leadership should not just be counting the numbers, but must be in the forefront, giving the ideas, insight, and driving, in fact, the agenda to achieve to the summit. Our cluster on the space science technology research cluster is working with our Amity University, Mumbai, and we are looking at the environment at Mars by simulating it with the environment that we have in Leh and Ladakh here in our country, and trying to work out the kind of scientific explorations and technology innovation that could be required to achieve the target of life on Mars. And in that area, Dr. Amar, if he is present here in the community, and Professor Devra and his team, they are all working with Amity University, Mumbai, to deliver that promise. Global warming, climate change is a reality. We all have seen the effect of heat waves, not only here in India, but all across the country, all across the world, in fact. And that area is receiving a lot of attention for climate science and climate intelligence tomorrow with AI integration, and that is being headed by Professor Devra and his team here. Going further, we also have the research cluster in the area of nanoscience and technology. This is a very strong team of scientists and technologists that I have in my university, and we are looking at nanoscience for the smart and intelligent materials of tomorrow. We are also looking at nanoscience for healthcare. We are looking at nanoscience for wastewater treatment, and we have delivered recently a promise of utilizing nanoparticle-based design for wastewater treatment for the water pond near our university in the village of Bilaspur. This has been commissioned and handed over to the government of Haryana. This was supported by the government of Haryana in their desire to solve the local problem of the wastewater recycling and reuse, in fact, by the village community. We have also looked at nanoscience actually for telemedicine, and also developing a whole lot of solutions along the direction of COVID protection and so on. This group is headed by Dr. Atul Thakur and his team. Out of the team, Dr. Deepa Suhag is present here. I don't know whether Atul Thakur is sitting here somewhere. But, going further, we have the cluster of tissue engineering and regenerative medicine, and we also have the infectious disease cluster headed by Professor Rajendra Prasad and his team, comprising of Dr. Syed and Dr. Fatima and others. They are all working with a high level of research and development supported by the government agencies also. Next one there. The cancer research cluster and lipidomics is headed by Professor Rajendra Prasad and his team. Dr. Prasad, this was one of the impact area given to us by the government of India. How do we put together, in fact, a national facility for lipidomics through the funding for infrastructure for research and development at our university? And we are having a whole lot of work going on in biomarkers for early detection of cancer, in fact, and to ensure that tomorrow, with our artificial intelligence integration into it, we should be in a position to forewarn and take corrective and predictive actions so that the community could be saved from the disaster of cancer and other infectious diseases of the kind that are currently taking a very heavy toll around the world. Dr. Rajendra Prasad would be able to explain this even better. Clean air mission at AUH has been spearheaded by no one less than our own Honorable Chancellor. We in fact put our head together and looked at what the problem is here or around the world and how can we address it. And we worked out our meaningful recommendations. In fact, in the symposium that we conducted on air quality improvement, and I'm very happy, Honorable Chancellor sir, that these recommendations that we have, they have far-reaching actual implications solving some of the problem. And I have a copy of the recommendations that have been produced at that time. Go further, consortia and R&D projects, whole lot of them in various areas of research and development, which I mentioned are taking place at our university. Dr. Rajendra Prasad and his team, Dr. Atul Thakur, they are all working with higher end projects from within this consortia. The major R&D project which we have submitted recently to the Department of Science and Technology under the scheme called PERS, where they provide as high as 50 crores of rupees or even more to the institution to strengthen the R&D infrastructure for multidisciplinary research in areas that matter for the country. And we have made our application, in fact, in that direction. Going further, we have also Amity Institute of Integrative Science and Health has been set up so that we understand the nexus between environment and health. And we also understand how the health of the people could be in an integrated manner can be addressed by pulling together various disciplines of science and engineering, including, of course, medical sciences. And this particular center is also, in fact, having a great knack for higher end data analysis and data analytics in healthcare and health sciences. We have our own centers of excellence and clusters which are addressing this interdisciplinary need, the prediction of novel transcript biomarker. Why not Dr. Rajendra Prasad? You are a better expert than me, and explain the last two slides.
I think Ravi is a patented pipeline developed by Dr. Ravi. Would you like to say a few words?
So with this pipeline, we are able to find out transcript biomarkers that occurs either in a disease state or a cancer state or maybe some other. So we download some RNA sequencing data that comes from the patient, and then we can analyze with this pipeline. That software is now available on GitHub for free.
This is Dr. R.D. Sharma working quietly on large scale data analysis for biocomputing and a whole lot of other solutions. Sir.
Quick question.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. It's fascinating to hear this research, and quite frankly, this whole experience has been incredibly inspiring and very humbling for me in many ways. But I'm curious to know, as you do this research, sitting where I am in Google, where things like AlphaFold were developed back in 2018, and 1.8 million researchers have used AlphaFold, and with AlphaFold 3 now coming out, where further biomolecular structures are assessed and analyzed. Does this sort of work by Google Research and DeepMind help and facilitate and accelerate your?
Exactly. We also tried your AlphaFold for a particular problem. Most of the time, AlphaFold is quite correct. It's working. A little bit problem we got for alternative splice transcripts when we were predicting structure for it. But then we found one person in Australia who has developed a plugin for it. But of course, your AlphaFold helped in structure biology as well as your deep variant for finding SNPs that helped a lot in the genomics.
So I should add, we have been extensively using AlphaFold, and it has really shortened our labor of 10 years. Now we can do in a jiffy to get the structure and start working. And the ligand interaction, simulation, all is being done now routinely. So it's an extremely useful tool and open source, of course. So it's wonderful, really.
That's great to hear.
I must really move a little faster because we are eager to hear our Google team on their thoughts and visions and understanding of how to move. We are putting a lot of effort along the direction of biohydrogen, even blue hydrogen and green hydrogen tomorrow. People like me are highly desirous to ensure that this bottle of water tomorrow could be classified as liquid hydrogen, so that you are in a position to conveniently run your hydrogen train that Birmingham University and the government of UK have put together with the help of a biofuel, liquid hydrogen like this. But a whole lot of redesign of water is required. And we are putting our best foot forward and looking at that. We are also working in the area of agri-solar plant, where our solar energy team has worked in this area, and they are understanding that how renewable energy and agriculture can go together. Nanoscience technology, already I explained. A whole lot of work is going on. Indo-US Symposium on Air Quality, which was spearheaded by our Honorable Chancellor, was attended in those days by Dr. Gwynn, the director of NIEH. He visited our university from US, and we put our head together how best we can drive the agenda of clean air quality. And this can be further augmented, and artificial intelligence can do wonders, in fact, in making this mission move. At this mission, we also had the Nobel laureate, Dr. Dr. Krish. And in fact, the whole lot of recommendations which we are made at this symposium has revolutionized our thinking in terms of air pollution causes, mitigation, and strategic planning that we need to really do for future of this country. Next one, AUH also organized a symposium on air quality, which was attended by Nobel laureate Dr. Kirk Smith, in fact, sitting here in the center. Next one. We also recently organized a brainstorming on data science and predictive analytics and invited Dr. Chandrasekhar. Next one. A whole lot of other symposiums that we organized in areas including data science labs, and also National Technology Day recently celebrated by Dr. Prasad and his team. MOU has been signed between our clean air team with ISP Tech of Luanda in Angola, South Africa, because Africa and India together need to work to address this problem of air quality and pollution research. We also celebrated World Meteorological Organization, WMO, at our university. Dr. Rupa Kumar Kohli, President of India Society, was also here. Next one, certain areas which I thought very quickly I could run it. We would like to establish a Google Hub at AUH for AI Haryana, because whole lot of work of interdisciplinary nature relevant to the government of Haryana and development of Haryana could be addressed through our partnership here. This would be in the area of agri-tech, it could be in the area of women empowerment, it could be in the area of skilling for agriculture, healthcare, sustainability, cloud infrastructure, even addressing the requirement of transportation of tomorrow, clean transportation. And we also would like to work with you in R&D in the area of AI, cyber security, and quantum computing, which we could certainly join hands with you. A start of support for Google for cloud infrastructure to our student mentoring and investment funding, training on Android, internship, hackathon support, etc. That of course we are looking forward. We are looking at also a center for climate and air quality intelligence, which could be the hub for interdisciplinary research, focusing on the integration of AI in areas that matter most for the future of smart cities and city regions, for increased urbanization, for Viksit Bharat 2047, along the vision and strategic direction which the government has worked out. This will enhance our predictive models for climate and air quality intelligence. This will also develop our smart city solutions, so much required for understanding the meaning and purpose of urban governance, very different than what we have today. And we need to address this whole issue by technology solutions and the smart and intelligent monitoring, analysis, and predictive tools. So that's where another actually effort could be made. A whole lot of other areas in which we would be proposing to work with you, innovate in agriculture, for a whole lot of solutions that are required for the meaningful advancement of Haryana and nation as a whole would be an area of interest going next year. We will be looking forward to our most fruitful collaboration and impactful outcome for a win-win partnership between Amity University Haryana and Google India and Google Global, because we believe that today, when we solve the local problem, we are also keeping our vision of enhancing our reach to solving the mega challenges and global problem that we have. With this, I think I thank you very much for your patience hearing, and thank you, Honorable Chancellor, for giving us the privilege of having you along with the Google India, Global and Global India team present here at our university. Thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, warm greetings on the World Environment Day. Do not forget, keep it in your mind that we are celebrating the World Environment Day, and therefore the highest commitment we need to make to sustainability, to the clean air, to the clean potable water for our people, also ensuring that the soil health is also maintained, and the nation as a whole and global community moves along the direction of achieving sustainable development goal is the agenda. Dr. Thakur must be feeling very happy today, and I'm sure Dr. Yadav and Dr. Devra connected online, and Dr. Ila Gupta must be feeling very happy in celebrating this day today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Sharma, for enlightening us the achievements of Amity University, Haryana. Now it's time to express our gratitude to our distinguished guests from Google for gracing with their presence. I would request Chancellor Sir Dr. Asim Chauhan, Vice Chancellor Sir Professor P.B. Sharma, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Vikas Madhukar to felicitate Mr. Ed Baran, Head of Public Sector Policy, Global Google, London, UK. So kindly felicitate Mr. John Barora, Head of Strategic Initiatives. Okay. Mr. Siddharth Sinha, Geospatial and Climate Policy Lead, India, Program Manager, Global South, Delhi, India. Okay. Roni Agrawal, Head of Strategic Partnership, Knowledge and Information Product Portfolio, Google Gurugram. Up next, we have the presentation by distinguished delegations from Google who will share their insights and initiatives towards the environment sustainability. For more than 2 decades, Google has worked with machine learning and AI to make our products more helpful to everyone. AI is also capable of providing us with the new ways to tackle the toughest climate changes we face, from reducing emission through adapting to the climate impacts. So we have with us Ed Warren, Director Geopayments, Commerce and Public Sector Policy, Google. Along with that, we have Siddharth Sinha, Geospatial and Climate Policy Lead, Google India Climate Fellow, Yale University, and Ms. Roli Agrawal, Head of Product Partnership from Google India. So I would request the presentation from the delegates of Google. Mr. Siddharth, sir.
Sir, you can do it as per the order as you wish, so.
I think we wanted to make an open conversation, but I'm happy to like give a couple of slides.
As you wish. You can make it open.
Because it's the world environment. Can I?
And maybe Siddharth, as you're wandering over there, maybe I can say a few opening remarks.
Yeah.
On behalf of all of us here, I think, and those from Google who aren't here. I wasn't expecting this when I walked into this room, and I'm just incredibly impressed and motivated by the depth of commitment and passion and drive and intelligence and spirit of collaboration, which is very clearly prevalent among everyone here. It seeps from the walls of this great university. And as a father of two relatively young children, I think thinking about our future in this way and the ways in which we can bring AI to bear to accelerate solutions is critically important. And at Google, we are obviously a tech company first, but we're a small part in this ecosystem of solutions that has to come together to really make a difference. We recognize that we can't fix this in isolation. We have to work with individual users. We have to work with corporations. We have to work with governments. We have to work with academia. And I am, quite frankly, just so excited by the potential we have here as a collaborative effort. I think by design or by accident, you hit all of the things that I'm most excited by. Whether it's agriculture, whether it's air quality, whether it's transportation, health, but probably as important, maybe more important, is that foundation of literacy that has to be the bedrock of what we build upon in order to deploy and execute consistent, fair, equitable solutions for everyone that is exposed to the implications of climate change. And I came here this week to India because here at Google India, which is, I believe, our second biggest office outside of the US, we have thousands of employees, thousands of very smart researchers. But we also have people who are really working on some of these very challenging issues, such as the subjects we've been talking about here. And I want to take the learnings we are seeing here in Google India and really think about how we can learn from that and share that experience across India, but also across other markets around the world that are exposed to these frequent and very severe climate challenges that we're facing now on a very real and sadly too frequent basis. So, Siddharth, myself, and Roli, we have a few days this week to pull our heads together and really explore how we can scale some of these solutions. And I think a big part of that scaling is collaborations with Amity University and other academia institutes around the world as well. So Siddharth will share some of our slides and we can talk about this and we can answer any questions. But I'm really excited by the future here, the opportunity for me to learn among such a room full of, frankly, incredibly intelligent and driven people. And I just want to express that. So thank you very much for your hospitality.
Thank you, Ed, and it's actually great to have you in India. I mean, Roli and Ed, they've been two of the biggest champions of everything that we've been doing in India. Now, Roli did not tell me this earlier, but now I know that she's an alumnus of Amity as well. So now I know two people The other being Srinivasa Reddy, who heads public policy for India, who was here last week. So that makes the two of them now. So on climate and sustainability, I think, and apologies to some of the people in this room who were already there before and who heard this, and therefore I'll try to go really quick over here. But even before starting this presentation, there was something that I wanted to share, and also being at Amity, it sort of takes me back to my university days as well. Where we as young kids would collaborate on a lot of things, and seeing the robotics things outside, it was really really fascinating. Took me back to my university days. We talk about climate change in today's World Environment Day. This presentation was originally supposed to happen on the World Environment Day, but we pulled it back a bit. Everybody remembers, I believe, the second wave of COVID-19 in India, and I think every event has a marker, right? The marker of the second wave of the pandemic was the fact that each of us, at least in India, given how severe the disease was, lost at least one person in our immediate family or extended family, right? And extending that logic to climate change, and this is not something that I share very often, but in 2020, I lost one of my closest friends, my best friend, somebody I grew up with, because outside of work, I'm also a mountaineer, and we used to go mountaineering together, we used to go trekking together. And in 2020, when he was exploring a certain part of the Himalayas, he got caught in a flash flood. That flash flood occurred because there was a glacial lake which was formed, which was not supposed to be there in the first place. Roly here comes from the mountains herself. So she has been witness to the climate change that you can actually see in the Indian mountains. I, as somebody, lost my own friend. But what I'm trying to say is that if we do not control what is going to happen, this might become something bigger than we actually imagine it to be today. And when it comes to India, I think there are three things that we need to recognize. First of all is the fact that India, along with many developing countries, has been one of the lowest contributors to emissions. And this is a fact. Per capita emissions in India are some of the lowest, right? So you're the lowest contributor, but you're the highest when it comes to vulnerability, right? In the past 50 years, 2 million people across the world have lost their lives as a result of the direct impacts of climate change. 90% of them are from the developing countries. And by the way, this number is expected to be 12 million over the next 25 years. So you have 6x the number of casualties in half the time. That is the scale. So you're low when it comes to your contribution, but you're highest when it comes to vulnerability. But you also have the greatest opportunity today to sort of decarbonize, So, and that's because when the Industrial Revolution happened, the world did not have access to the kind of technologies that it has today. So we, as developing countries, we have the ability to industrialize without the need to carbonize. And that is where technology plays a very important role. And that is why what we have here is some of the work that we are doing on climate and sustainability. Can we go to the next slide? I think I cannot change it here. Yeah. So one of the things that Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor talked about was flood forecasting, right? So we actually use AI to basically predict when flooding would occur. So and these are just statistics from last year that about 260 million people across 359 square kilometers were protected from the risk of flooding. And we were able to send out alerts in 9 Indian languages. And I think this is really important because some of the people who are most vulnerable are also people who live at the edges, which means that these people are also the ones who may not understand an English or a Hindi. So how do you really warn them in your local languages? Some of you may have seen India is now rolling out, Honorable Prime Minister is most likely to launch it after the elections, the cellular broadcasting system. Many of you would have received that long beep on your Android phones, right, saying that there's an emergency. Now, we are working with them as part of Android to actually make those alerts available in 22 languages so that the people who are most vulnerable, irrespective of the kind of climate catastrophe that they're facing, when the National Disaster Management Authority pushes out alerts to them, they get them in every single language so that not even a single person is left out from the risk. We also have something called green light, which we had spoken about previously. But here, what we are basically doing is that we are basically optimizing traffic signals. So the traffic analytics that we have on Google Maps, it shows you red, it shows you yellow, right? And we realized that there's a lot of stuff that we could do at the back end. So if you could start imposing traffic signals on that and run AI algorithms, you will essentially be able to optimize traffic light timings. And the results have been very promising, as you can see. In India, the problem is we often see congestion and emissions as two different things, whereas that's not the case. Idling vehicles, in fact, emit a lot more emissions, right? Because the greater the idling time of your vehicle is, the greater the number of emissions you actually have. Air quality, I was actually fascinated by Honorable Vice Chancellor's presentation about air quality. We actually have a project in India called Project Airview 100. Amit Maurya, who was supposed to be here, his flight got delayed, but he's really the architect of this project, which is called Project AirView 100. And what we do is that we install hyperlocal air quality sensors on static as well as mobile assets. So static assets, buildings, but mobile assets, transport buses, DTC buses, for example, auto rickshaws, for example. And what we are able to do is that we are able to basically collect thousands of data points. And using these thousands of data points, we're able to do two things. A, we are able to make the air quality available. Right now in Delhi or any of these cities that we work in, you mostly see air quality at a station level. So you'll see what's happening at Safdarjung Air Station, but you will not know what the air quality, how it varies hyperlocally. So we are able to use satellite imagery, air quality measurements, pressure conditions, humidity to basically calculate the hyperlocal air quality, right? So that's a human health thing. But we call this a climate and health intervention also, because if you look at this map, what it shows you is, we're also able to, predict where the pollution hotspots are. So you're also able to triangulate back to the source of the pollution, which is also the result of, the poor air quality. And we are then able to show how it varies over day, how it varies across times of day, how it varies across seasons. One of the most fantastic use cases we had was there was a particular region and you had these interstate buses coming in from that region, and you would always witness that the pollution at the border of that city was much higher, right? And this pollution increased more during the night time. Now, you can't ask a neighboring state to replace your entire bus fleet overnight, but what you can do because of these statistics is to show them the evidence and then tell them that, well, in the evening, the temperature lowers, so all your pollution is going to settle down. So maybe revise the timetable of your buses to bring more of them during the day till the time you can sort of decarbonize your buses. We also have an Environment Insights Explorer, is what some of our researchers here may already be familiar with. It's an open source tool. You can go online. You can basically select geospatial locations, and you're able to estimate building emissions, transport emissions, rooftop solar potential using this tool. So literally, you can measure, plan, act, and track emissions. And this is a very integrated tool. So what we did was in Bangalore, we integrated what we had on the air quality insights, and we really integrated it with Environment Insights Explorer, and we were able to calculate hyperlocally how the air quality varies across the street. And that's so fascinating because then you can also link it back to congestion. For instance, Plus Codes, Rolly here, her team has been doing a phenomenal job. Plus Codes, the official theme we say is addressing the unaddressed. There are so many people in India who still do not have a digital address. And what Google does is it generates this kind of a descriptor, which it provides to people. And really, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that 225,000 houses in India now have a digital plus code given by Google, and they literally put it outside their houses, because when you put this plus code on maps, it takes you directly to that person's house. So it will have use case in, for example, thousands and millions of households in the slums of India, right? But why is it important? So you see this tweet from Kolkata police. What they're saying is that if you're in an emergency, tell us about it, send us your plus code, and we'll reach directly there. So when you talk about climate, it's not just about mitigation, but it's also about adaptation. So if you need to evacuate people in emergencies and you have the most vulnerable people out there, how do you reach their house? You reach them because now you have a plus code to help you with that. We also have something called Open Buildings Dataset, which is again accessible. You can in fact go there right now. And what we've done is, Google Maps is not really a downloadable dataset, but Open Buildings is actually a downloadable dataset of building highlights. So when you access this portal, this is what you will see. And this has a variety of use cases, everything from, let's say, evacuation during floods to things like vaccination planning and so on. So in many Indian cities, this tool is actually being used to simulate, the response forces in the case of, floods or in the case of other, natural disasters. So you literally see the building highlights over here. We also have Android earthquake alerts where, your phone can give off a warning a few seconds before an earthquake. We talked about agriculture. We have a great project again. Alok and Amit. Amit leads our air quality work. Alok leads our agri work. Both of them, their flight got delayed, otherwise they would be here. What we've been able to do is literally, if you log in to Anthropocene, it's not yet public, but Alok has asked us to discuss this with as many people as we can, is that we've created field boundaries when you zoom in there. And just by using satellite imagery, we can estimate what is the crop type, what is the size of the field, when did the last sowing occur, when was there a flood, what is the tillage, what is the sowing pattern been. So this is really so important. And what we also plan to do in the future is to calculate the distance to water, distance to the nearest mandi, distance to the nearest cold storage. Because Honorable Prime Minister talks about doubling farmers' incomes. I mean, these are things which will help with that, because you're essentially able to optimize your supply chain as a result of this project. And I think something which we don't have in India yet, but of course it's there in the US, is something called Project Sunroof. And this I just added in at the last moment because I heard so much of focus on solar. But in the US, Google has something known as Sunroof, where you could literally type your US address and it will show you your rooftop, and it will show you what your solar potential is, what your solar estimation of savings would be should you transition to solar. And that is something which is so important from a developing country point of view, like countries like India, countries of the global south, because generally the cognitive burden on people is so high because they really, an average person a day cares more about essentially ensuring that they have enough to feed their families and so on. And if you ask them to follow 4 or more steps to install a solar panel at their home, probably they'll just skip that process altogether. But theoretically, if you have something which allows you to do that, that really reduces the cognitive burden. But yeah, this is probably my last slide. I'll conclude with this. But over the course of this collaboration, however it pans out, we'll be happy to discuss more of these projects. And once again, I want to thank Rolly, who's been an incredible partner for India. So many of these things. Rolly is actually working on mobility, a lot of things in mobility. So right from mapping electric vehicle charging infrastructure onto Google Maps to basically ensuring that public transport agencies are able to adopt to GTFS standards. Right? Even today, the timings of metro rails and buses that you see only in 5 cities are there in real time. Rolly is actually leading an effort to ensure that those readings become real time across India so that there is predictability in terms of public transport. And of course, Ed, who's already spoken here, he's been an incredible champion for India. He leads Geo, which is maps plus everything else that I've shown you. Globally, he also leads commerce, he also leads payments, and he's been a fantastic and a phenomenal, sort of champion for India. Ed, thank you so much. And yeah, with this, I conclude and give back time to Ed and Rolly. Thank you.
I think one of the things that really excites me at the moment, when we look at the features and the tools that Siddharth has presented, it's how they can be bundled together by theme. So if you think about crisis, part of our issue is that there's so much data out there. There's hundreds of years of, whether you want to call it planetary or environmental data. There's a very rapidly changing environment in which we're living in, increased urbanization, which introduces more kind of data points around how to, or challenges rather, around how to create scenarios or forecasts, the implications of the environment to a built environment, to a built area, or to a rural community. And I think the advances of large language models, the advances of compute power, we're being able to take more of these data points in and really create better and more accurate scenarios, as well as create instances where we can support first responders, post-emergency, to very quickly go to the areas where there is the most peril, the most significant peril. Across Google, we have thousands of researchers working on this. A few of them, I think, would have loved to have been here today, but unfortunately, timings didn't quite work. But we also have a company called X, which is our moonshot kind of base, where a lot of the sort of extreme ideas are born. And we're working closely with that organization at the moment on a project called Bellwether, which is all about tackling crisis. It's all about being able to, one, better prepare ourselves, better prepare communities for the risks that this very rapidly changing environment can bring, but then also post-disaster, be better at responding and providing support and aid to those areas that need it most. And so I think, like I said earlier, some of my excitement, some of my motivation comes from how we can bring this together, take these very individual ideas and solutions, but bring it together and scale it and work with organizations to deploy it more effectively. So as I said before, I'm very excited by what we can do here together. And I look forward to continuing these discussions with all of you in the future. And thank you for your time. I think Rolly, if you want to.
So I know we are running a little bit behind, but I can't not say anything, especially since I'm coming back to campus after all these years. So personally for me, it's been so great to be here. Thank you for having us. Your hospitality, your kindness, has really touched our hearts. Personally for me, as a student, ex-student of Amity, it's been really good to see all the work that is happening here. I've taken a few notes here, but the innovation incubator, all the stuff that you're doing around sustainability using technology, the projects that were showcased outside, very encouraging. So I, congratulate you for all that work that, you've been doing. And I'm also excited, as my colleague said here, to explore what more can we do together, because I truly believe that this is a very important decade, right? Especially for climate. And technology can play a huge role on its own, but also in helping us see the interconnectedness between what seem like, diverse and distinct things. Also in seeing the interconnectedness between the various SDGs, right? Often we talk about SDGs on their own, like number this and number that, but at the end of the day, they're all related. And I think AI and technology can really help us understand that and also supercharge, our actions and accelerate them. So really excited on what we can do together with the students and the faculty, the researchers, the various bodies that you had here of Amity, and hopefully we'll continue this conversation. Because at the end of the day, what we do here in India is really going to shape, what the world does and sees. So yeah, let's keep working together because we are better together. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Siddharth Sharma, for insightful presentation on AI or technology integration with for climate mitigation and adaptation, and letting us know about various projects like flood forecasting with AI and city governance enablement, and the Rolly works also about the plus codes. Okay, so thank you so much, Adverence, for your address. And moving forward with, we have a special address given by Dr. Asim Chauhan, the Honorable Chancellor of Amity University, Haryana. Please join us in welcoming him. Dr. Asim Chauhan is a Chancellor of Amity University.
Thank you. It's okay. No introduction needed. But I'm so happy to be here with all of you. And some of you must be thinking, every day there are conferences, seminars. We send an invitation to Chancellor for almost every occasion. Why did Chancellor come today for this brainstorming? So I like to be present when I sense that we can do things that are transformative, that can have an impact not only on the university, but on society and humanity as a whole. And when I heard that Mr. Ed Barron is coming, along with the team from Google, and when I heard about the discussion that was had with Mr. Srinivasan and Siddharth on what Amity and the Google team together could do, I said then I want to be present myself and hear it and be part of the brainstorming, so we can draw out a bigger vision of what both the organizations can do together. Of course, Google is, a name that needs no introduction. It is so immersed into what we do every day. As I was driving here, I had to decide whether to take the Dwarka Expressway or the main highway because traffic was awful on both sides. And I went to Google Maps. I did that right after sending a Gmail, email out. Then closer to campus, I went to Google Sheets. We, as you know, are working closely with the Harrow School in the UK. We brought Harrow to India with the first campus in Bangalore. So we were scheduling our next meeting, which we did on Google Sheets. And I noticed how pervasive Google as a company is in our everyday life. But what really excited me today and where I see immense potential is what we can do together to help solve the biggest problems of our times. And as all of you know, you've heard me say it 100 times, we as a university are not here just for teaching and learning, but really for research and innovation with the desired outcome of what can we do to solve the bigger problems. And one of the core beliefs that we have as the Amity Group is that if we indeed can look at India to begin with as a whole, and we can solve some of the problems we have here, then we could be solving problems not only for our country, but not only the global south, but maybe the whole world. And the solutions we can come up with are different because our problems are different. And I think we all share a sentiment. And Mr. Barron, I'm so happy that this is your first visit to India. And I'm quite sure it will not be your last visit to India because we will keep inviting you back. And what you will find here, you will find great joy of life. You will find optimism. You will find dynamism. You will find great talent. And we are lucky at this particular phase. And although the election results have not been announced, we have a leadership in the country that is forward looking and is really trying to drive change and growth in the country. And we have a lot of things going for us, including very intelligent, driven young population and good demographics, amazing scientists who are world level scientists, I would say. But of course, with the great opportunities that we have in India, we also have great challenges. You know, when we talk about the great urban migration, more than 500 million people that may migrate from rural areas to urban areas, how do you solve for that? How do you even think about mobility and housing and public healthcare systems and hygiene and the very basics? You know, when you look at what is happening with climate, you know, for the first time this week, I saw temperatures go above 45 and closer to 50. A friend of mine called me from sitting on a Virgin flight heading to London, and he said the aeroplane is overheated. The components, you know, are too hot. We can't take off. So they were deboarded, and the flight was cancelled. So real implications of what temperature change and climate change can mean, not only as a theoretical academic exercise, but really what it'll mean for the day-to-day person, and especially the people that are not in shelters that are air conditioned and cooled. And so therefore we have to think more broadly, what can we do as a education group, as research clusters to help solve problems. 15 days ago, 17 days ago on May 15th, we had a very exciting session with Dr. Somnath, who is the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization, the man who has led us landing on the moon with Chandrayaan-3. And he is very passionate about what we as organizations can do together. So he came to our new university in Bangalore. It is a very young university. But he said, because ISRO is in Bangalore, I would like to have the meeting at Amity Bangalore. And one or two people from Gurgaon here is the person or the team that was here from Haryana. Are they in the room at the moment? Maybe not. Yeah, look, I think she is not here right now. Yeah, but what they would testify is how exciting it was, because Dr. Somnath did not just come for a brainstorming, but he brought 25 scientists from across ISRO labs to brainstorm in a freewheeling manner. And we had flown in 25 of our scientists. What can ISRO and Amity do together? And we spoke about AI. What can the technology platforms that we have developed at Amity? Because, Mr. Barron, I'm happy to share that we, at our location in Noida and very soon here, have developed a 10 petaflop supercomputer where we are putting data sets in, again, to help solve problems. And ISRO is looking at the sunroof issue because our Prime Minister has announced that we would like to do much more of solar, building integrated photovoltaics and rooftop solars. And ISRO has done a lot of geospatial imaging and remote sensing and has created a lot of data, but they want to put it through our supercomputers to analyze what we can do. We are looking at things like space debris, where there are, trillions of data points. But how do you manage it? How do you really solve the problem of space debris, which we are talking about bioastronautics? Because now we are thinking that after 2030, when the International Space Station is going to be decommissioned, India is now dreaming of the Bharatiya Space Station, putting Indian astronauts in a space station built in India. How do you do that? I mean, these are massive problems, and can we join hands? So, Mr. Barron, we believe in solving problems, and we feel that technology is the underlying factor for that. I do not think that at scale problems can be solved without technology, and particularly without AI. And that is why we are really doubling down. We want to teach every one of our students, at least expose them to aspects of AI and Gen AI. And we're so grateful to Google. for the announcement that Mr. Srinivasan made that he wants to give a significant number of scholarships for certification programs from Google in AI to many Amity students. So we are grateful for that. But I think that's a starting point for a bigger thought of what we can do together. Along with solving problems, we also believe in collaboration. We feel that when we join hands with very large groups who can think at a macro level, we can do better. And, Rolly, you'll be happy to know that as Amity, we have umbrella agreements with the ICAR, which is the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and there are dozens of labs. We have umbrella MOUs with ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research. We have an umbrella MOU with CSIR, the Council of Scientific Industrial Research, which has dozens of labs. We have an umbrella MOU with the DRDO, the Defense Research and Development Organization, with their many labs. So hundreds of labs that collaborate and connect into the Amity universities, allowing for people-to-people interaction and scientist-to-scientist interaction, where we can start dreaming of what we can do to make this a better country and better society. The other thing we're very passionate about, and maybe most passionate about, is the success of our students and what our alumni can achieve. So when I see Rolly, and I've only learned today that she is an Amity alumni, that I'm so proud to see our former students doing so very well in the best of companies. Rolly, when you were a student in 2000, 2002, I was still in private equity in New York. I was doing a high-level venture capital and leveraged buyouts. And it was in 2002 that as I was being promoted in the firm as a junior partner, that I said, what is the broader mission in life? And I thought to work in education, and with the founder, our founder, Dr. Ashok Chauhanji, who is a great visionary, who has really modernized education in India, to work alongside him to build research and education, bringing the best practices from the Ivy League universities and the Russell Group universities in the UK. And how do we work together to do this in India? And Mr. Barron, we have 300 collaborative agreements with foreign universities as well, including many of the best universities in the UK, the US, and many other countries, forming a global network of joint patent filing, joint research and publications, faculty exchange, student exchange, because that is such an important point. So really a lot of happened at Abbott. You graduated, but it's really alumni like you who have gone out and done so well for yourself that really take the Amity flag high, and we feel so proud of it. So, Mr. Barron, you have our commitment, and I've really come to say that, we are committed to a particular cause, which I, after hearing Siddharth's presentation, feel it's a common cause, that how can we bring technology and effort of great minds to solve problems. And if we can do that, and if we can build a backbone of AI and manpower trained in AI and solve even a few problems, including agriculture, healthcare, education, climate change, air pollution, if we water pollution, the Ganges still is not fully solved. We need to. So we have problems. I think we have the minds, we have the desire, and now we have to think, how do we streamline all of this and do great things together. But Mr. Barron, I'm grateful to you that you have made the effort to be here with us. And today is your first visit to Amity, but we'll take you to many other universities across the country, and not only in India, but we have the largest private university of Dubai, the largest Indian institution in Singapore. We are in Amsterdam. We're in London at Bedford Square. We have a 175-acre campus in New York on Long Island, where we are building out the Amity Global Research Hub, bringing the best scientific minds into New York. And we're also bringing the Harrow School to New York. So as of next year, 2025, we're launching Harrow, New York. We have a sustainability institution in San Francisco, which is very close to the Google headquarters. And I've visited in Palo Alto, the Google massive facilities that you have. So I'm very excited. And also one hello to Professor Devra. Professor Devra, you're online. I was missing you in the room, and I'm so relieved to see that you are online. You are a great man in ocean, atmospheric science and technology, and I would have missed you had you not been online today. So my greetings to you and to all of the scientists that are here online. And Professor Rajendra Prasad, who is, I would say, maybe amongst the top scientists of our country. We feel so proud of you. I would say you have built an amazing team, Professor Rajendra Prasad, and you are not only a great scientist, but you have an eye for talent. And to bring in so many young scientists and to groom them, to give them open hand, and you fight for them. You know, you will message at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Can I recruit this person? Can we build this lab? And till today, I've not said no to you. You know, because I know that you're doing it with a very, very big mission in life, and we're so proud of you under the leadership of a great Vice Chancellor like Professor P.B. Sharma. And Mr. Barron, you know, Professor P.B. Sharma, I can truly say is he's a very humble person, but one of the greatest academic administrators that India has seen. He has been the president of the Association of Indian Universities, making him the senior most vice chancellor in all of India. So, Professor P.B. Sharma, I'm proud of your leadership, and I know that this discussion would have great outcomes and great results under your leadership with the dynamic work of Professor Vikas Madhukar, who I feel so proud of. I speak to him very, very often. So, Professor Madhukar, you will work with the team of Google to make sure that we get the results that both Google and Amazon. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed, Honorable Chancellor, sir. Your august presence on a day so important adds tremendous amount of strength to all of us. And I'm sure our visiting delegation from Google would reinforce the idea of working together with a university which is driving the agenda by its leadership in the area of sustainability, air quality, and a whole lot of new research that is required for integrating a whole lot of engineering and all sciences together to drive the bigger picture of it for solving the pressing problem that we all have at our doorstep in various countries. We are so delighted to have you, sir, sparing your valuable time on a day so important. And as we celebrate the World Environment,
How could we not? You know, sir?
it's our great pleasure and honor to have you. And we are thankful to you, sir. On behalf of everyone present here, by all heads of the institution, members of the faculty, brilliant research scholars, and students community present here, we all join to thank you very much for your precious presence at such a momentous occasion. Thank you, sir. Dr. I.S. Thakur, since you are celebrating the World Environment Day, quick 1 or 2 lines from you before I ask you for further interactions.
Actually, sir, I'm really very, I'm thrilled in fact, our council, sir. Because I was expecting that we should come, but really because of my inner consciousness that I can tell you that I came here. Because this is third line, I was interested in UK. This is another course is working.
We are mentally connected, Professor Thakur.
Yeah, actually this third time because I was interested in remember also.
Yeah.
So really, I'm very happy and very delighted. But I initiated this World Environment Day celebration because there was an order for the Professor in fact, that the Institution of Innovation Council should celebrate the World Environment Day with the Art School of Environmental Sciences, and I have taken the initiative. I am really, in fact, it's a vote of thanks, and I have to send a vote of thanks. Siddharth, in fact, I met Siddharth on the 7th of May last week. Siddharth, really, I am really grateful to you, Siddharth, because this is you have done everything. When I reached to Professor Manta, within 2 minutes, he has approved and go ahead. Then I went to Professor Sharma, and Professor Sharma has taken the lead. And Professor Pandey told me that Thakur Sahab, those in the sub-second. Though we have the wonderful group that we have, everybody is working. Yes. My intention was very clear. I met, within 2-3 days, I met several faculty on the road also, on the road. I told them that you can see several people are sitting here, that my job is that to bring the board, the students and faculty together to discuss that how we can involve the Google, because the things are changing. Whole world, after 5 years, I don't know what will happen to education. But my interest is the mitigation strategies of the climate. Okay. And I work extensively on the carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide removal and valorization process, and the product process. And there's a lot of big data are there. And I also worked on the artificial intelligence with the help of my African partners in fact, and Florida University. So these couple of things are very exciting. But when I saw you, really, I am really thinking. And your leadership, I can tell you, the university will go forward. And you have, I can tell you, I'm basically, I told you, a JNU student, JNU, the professor's house. You have a wonderful place, I can tell you. You can do what, you can do better than JNU, I can tell you. Because I have saw the JNU from very beginning. This is my word.
Very good, thank you. Thank you so much. And now that the floor is open for interaction, I obey the Vice Chancellor. If I say 1 minute, it means 1 minute. So less than a minute, Dr. HRP Yadav, very quickly, 1 or 2 lines.
Very good afternoon, Honorable Chancellor Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean, and all the directors, faculties sitting here. I have gathered some information from the presentation of Mr. Siddharth that we should focus on several areas. But in my opinion, the climate change impact is directly proportional to carbon emission, and each activity of us is giving carbon emission directly or indirectly, which is measured in terms of CO2 equivalent as per Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So I have in mind to make suggestion 2 areas. One is improvement of air quality index. In Delhi NCR, always it is 300 and 400 microgram per cubic meter, which is very much alarming, very poor and severe categories. So how to improve? What are the main sources responsible for increasing AQI? That we should find out in collaboration with Google. Secondly, he has also mentioned about the vertical transportation. Vehicular emission is the second largest air polluter and is responsible for global warming and climate change. So we should also think how to reduce the vehicular emission due to burning of fossil fuels by developing alternative fuels and by setting up a vehicular emission test center at AUH in collaboration with this Google. Thank you very much.
Said it right, during COVID, I could reach just in less than an hour to my destination in Noida residence, while I take almost 3 hours now. So the green lights will cut down my travel time and will also reduce vehicular pollution. Very quickly, we are looking at the smart cities of tomorrow, the city regions where low carbon city culture would be there. Dr. Lagupta, you are participating in that movement. What do you have to put on the table today? 1 or 2 sentences very quickly.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So like everyone else here, I'm also very excited about this collaboration. My personal research area is earthquakes, and lots of research scholars from architecture and urban planning department are already working on sustainable cities, various aspects of diving deeply into sustainable cities and smart cities. So I think with this collaboration, we'll get an opportunity to actually be a significant leap with our research scholars.
Very good. Very good. We are looking at low carbon cities, we are looking at low carbon emission industry, low carbon emission vehicles. We are also looking at the people who will contribute to ensure that the global warming is cut down. Before we address really these, because Kusagra, Dr. Kusagra, you are heading our Earth Science Division. Anything quick from you on climate science intelligence?
Thank you very much, sir. Respected dais and friends and colleagues. This is great opportunity. But let me remind that I bring out a very pertinent issue like the doomsday clock. And till 2015, only the nuclear warfare is the culprit. But now 2 main things from this year, it is artificial intelligence also considered one of the factor. So this is my reminder. But with the interaction with the Google, many important aspects that they brought out from the green light to many more things like air pollution and others. It is really interesting to work with you. But since the Baron sir is very much in the policy, so I propose, or as per my understanding, we have to work on the policy part with the Google because they have the international experiences as online experiences, as you can say, on the policy aspect of the climate change and other relevant issues. Along with, I also suggest that since we are working on the sustainability at a very forefront, that is reflected in many of our accreditation and the policy programs related with that. So we also expect that we will work together on the certification courses like the sustainability, AI, and other things. So thank you very much.
A lot of development of mindset as well as commitment through research and innovation is required. My younger generation of scientists sitting here, young boys and girls, I'm sure you must have many things in your mind to press out. Very effective question and very effective answers from the dais will flow. Anything quick from the young brain on my right hand side? Anybody who want to ask anything? Yeah, please stand up and shout from the top of your voice. Waste management is another issue, surely. And I think that Siddhartha ji and his team is already looking at how effectively to collect as well as to manage and dispose it of in a manner that it does not create fires of the kind that we are seeing from the methane coming out during the hot season. And also a lot of solutions in this respect, I'm sure, must be there. We are looking at zero waste world tomorrow. Nothing will be wasted. The circular economy will make it sure that we go back to the basic, that everything must return to from where it has come in. And therefore, we are looking at a future tomorrow where you would be a country where no waste, everything utilized and utilized for a good cause. Part of it could be recycled, part of it could be utilized for generating electricity, part of it could go back to Mother Nature in the form of fertilizer, and many of the precious metals and heavy metal, they would be extracted and they will be made good use of. So a whole lot of opportunities in that respect, of course, are there. Anybody else quickly from this side before I go to the younger brain on my left? I was told the left brain works much faster and much better than the right brain, but right brain seems to be very active. Anything quick? Nobody? Okay, Krishnaiya, from you, you're working in the area of nanoscience and technology. What you want to do? Stand up and stand up. Please, people should know how tall you are in terms of your knowledge and stature. Yeah.
What happens is almost every religion and every part of the country, people think that they can have the muscular analysis something, but they don't know how the efficiency and how much power that is generated from that. So if this can be, scheduled on a larger scale, I think people go more on the security part. Because then we would be able to, move more of the regular
How would your nanoscience help in achieving this target? Intelligent nanoparticles and nanocomposite, intelligent and smart ones would be helping to curb the pollution in us. Okay. We have demonstrated this in the pilot plant that we have commissioned recently in the village Bilaspur. Moving to the left, on this side, anybody from my left brain, younger ones? Left brain must prove that they are more cognitive in terms of their ability. Yeah, Dr. Patania is working in my nanoscience group. One of the most brilliant scientists I have, Dr. Patania. Any quick response? Any of the students, younger student community sitting, you are the future, not only of India, but of the world. The world is taking Indian brain very seriously these days. Tell us what is burning in your mind as a question. Yeah, Dr. Khushbu Tripathi. Come and focus little over here, near your teacher. Yeah. Ask any question. Yeah. What you have. Accuracy, reliability, and security surely are major concerns. Anything, sir, from you? Hello? Siddharth, yeah?
In many other parts of the world, we were actually installing the sensors on street view cars. But what we realized was street view cars do not do everyday rounds, right? So there is a large amount of extrapolation that is involved with that data. But when you start installing sensors on static locations and dynamic locations like your public transport buses or your cabs, they're moving around in the city every single day. So the accuracy of this data is not only much higher, but it is also very hyper-local in nature versus street view cars, which do not do their rounds so often. So we've tried this in other countries, and that's why in other countries you will hear of it as Google AirView, but in India you will hear of it as AirView 100. And the original idea was 100 low-cost sensors to be installed, but now we have about 3,500 sensors across 82 cities in India. It will be 110 by next.
Rest assured, we take care of your data privacy, data security, data integrity, and of course, ensure that the data is utilized for a good cause. All right, moving further. Anybody else from the younger brains present here? Press out your brain with the brain of the Google that I have with me here. Yeah, Nitish Raj is another innovator. I have brilliant innovator, young innovator at the moment. Intelligent robots and intelligent micro and nano machines would be doing wonders tomorrow. Wall climbing robot is being prepared. We will come and do the job without even the vice chancellor noticing it. All right. Okay. Then I have that Anirban Das over here.
Hello. So, we know chemical catalysis plays a very important role in sustainability. Like most of the things we use are a product of catalysis. Even, solar energy harvesting, it is due to catalysis, photocatalysis. So, like in biocatalysis and chemical catalysis too, we have to design catalysts, and more often than not, we have to first model it because, we cannot go and do 50,000 experiments. So we do, we model it, find which is the best one that, gives us the best selectivity and yield, and then we go and, carry out the experiments. So like you have AlphaFold, does Google or its parent Alphabet have some product equivalent for chemical catalysis, or we can collaborate? That is, that has AI embedded in it for better decisions. Thank you.
Dr. Narendran Das belong to chemistry. Yeah.
Every day I start where I was better understand how the neuron brain into biomolecular structure examination for research into sustainable farming practices for the food. For example. Thank you. My apologies for not turning that on earlier. I haven't yet seen something to your question specifically, but I think with all of these questions, it's great to hear the breadth of the challenges and the thoughts around this room. And I think part of our role at Google, where we have been sort of building solutions internally, is to be much more out in the environment, listening to the specific issues that different communities are facing, whether it's around waste management, whether it's around chemical or air quality or somewhere else. AI principles, I agree. I think it's really important that we recognize that we need to be bold with AI to accelerate these solutions, but we also have to be responsible. We have to have we collectively as society have to have strong principles as to how we use AI, because in the hands of the wrong people, it can be a very dangerous tool. And so I appreciate all of the thoughts here. As I said before, I've taken a lot of notes. I'm really excited to brainstorm internally among Google to think about how we can move some of these ideas forward and how we can put some of these ideas into practice in terms of a collaborative experience between Google and this great university. So thank you very much for your time.
And I think Professor Narula.
Running short of time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. No, I think Professor Narula the last time had also, identified a suggestion for Google Scholar, I believe. So since you're here, I thought.
Dr. Narula, yes, anything quick from you? Very much required.
Very that amount to center for text of which and also about I put your mic on.
Narula is heading the center for detection of fake project.
From your Google team only. And from there, we learned the nitty-gritty of catching fake news and disinformation and getting the information there and training. We started the center here in our university, Amity Center of Excellence for Detection of Fake News and Disinformation. We are in collaboration in touch with your Google News Initiative here in Gurgaon also. And we have our Journal of Content, Media and Communication, which is a Q2 journal in the entire Amity universe. And it is the only journal in India which is the Scopus databases in communication category across any university in India. It's not there in any university in India. We have that journal with us, and it is a Q2 journal, and we are aspiring to be Q1 in the coming days.
Very well said. Really speaking, Google Scholar is to be made far more intelligent. I keep getting the messages, write a first paper on biology. So I'm a mechanical man because there's another P. Sarma who is publishing, and many of his citations are added to me, and my citations are added to him actually. So we have to build, I'm sure the artificial intelligence will be able to work tomorrow wonders in this respect, and will certainly ensure the integrity of the data and much of the information.
So we were talking about a lot of community engagement, and as I told you that we have done great number of projects on literacy and digital literacy, particularly in the rural area, and we had adopted the 5 villages also in the vicinity. There's a lot of work has been done under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan on solar mission, and we also imparted training under Surya Mitra solar project of the government of India. So Dr. Shubhra, I think Shubhra can speak for a minute on the various initiatives in the area of solar.
Hello, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm Dr. Shubhra. I actually take care of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, which is a project which is funded by the Ministry of Education. Under this project, we have selected 5 villages in the neighboring villages, and we are offering training to the village people in different areas like renewable energy, healthcare, education, then nutrition. So there are various areas that we have selected for offering them training, and we also train them so that we can offer them employability. Now, in this, we have also included agrivoltaic, which is sir has also shown. We have included the farmers from our neighboring village to develop the agrivoltaic facility here at Amity University, and we have also trained them to identify the crops that can be grown under an agrivoltaic system here. And we are also taking the initiative that how to include the society in adaptation of agrivoltaic, because it's now till now it is like a technology, but it has the adaptation of it to the society is not there. We have also started with another project from the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, under which we are training 240 candidates under different areas like still photography, office operation executive. Then we have hand embroidery and various other programs under which we are giving employment to the students as well. I think that's an initiative that we are doing at Amity University. Thank you, sir. And I would like to collaborate with Google to do this research on agrivoltaic and its acceptance by the society. So that is where I'm collaborating with UN Singh, sir, that how to uh, have the society's acceptance of this technology and what is the way we can take this technology to the society. So in this, I'm collaborating with the humanities, and Dr. Professor Yuan Singh sir is actually guiding me in that area, and I may be looking forward to having a collaboration with Google
Thank
to
you.
help us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Subra. Before we wind up, we have a person who has flown from Singapore to Amity University, Haryana, Simhan. Anything quick and last from you before we finally go for formal closure?
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity to speak here. I have a suggestion. Recently, this year, the last
Singapore
year,
should roar like a lion. They have the national symbol.
last year, Amity implemented the NEP, New Education Policy, and part of that, one aspect of that is students have to do a 3 to 6 week social engagement project, right? And this being the first time, and this is not just Amity, but all colleges and universities which are implementing the NEP, they have to do this. Now, at the national level, look at the number of students who are going to who are available for reaching out to the public. And so I was thinking this year being the first year, students had some problem in defining what kind of projects they can be engaged in. And so the idea popped up in me that if Google has any projects where you have to reach out to the public, either for qualitative data collection or for knowledge dissemination, there's a huge workforce, human resource
Yeah, Dr.
available.
Simon, we had a discussion. In fact, I briefed you about the curriculum model, and I told about the community engagement project, how is linked with the sustainable development goal. So this is what he's talking about. And of course, I also mentioned about our rural innovation and social entrepreneurship initiative under our innovation center. So where we had installed quite a large number of solar energy power plant in the vicinity, in the nearest vicinity. And of course, literacy and digital literacy is another area which we had spoken on.
Thank you so much indeed. Before we wind up, it's my responsibility as well as my duty to read out to you the message of the United Nations Secretary General on the World Environment Day, which goes like this: humanity depends on land, yet all over the world a toxic cocktail of pollution, climate chaos, and biodiversity dissemination, and turning healthy land into deserts and thriving ecosystem into dead zones. They are annihilating forest and grasslands and shaping the strength of land to support ecosystems, agriculture, and community. That means crops are failing, water resources vanishing, economy is weakened, and communities endangered. It is time to break free, is the message from the Secretary General of United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, on this day when we celebrate World Environment Day at our university, let us commit with our head, heart, and soul that we shall work to ensure that tomorrow is far brighter, better, and far greener than it is today. And the problems that we confront are addressed with the fullest of our might that we all possess, being the people from the university and from the corporate and industry. So I wish to thank you so much indeed for your gracious presence today. Over to you to wind up.
Thank you so much, our delegates from Google, Ed Warren, Siddharth Sharma, Roli Agrawal, for joining here today in the celebration of World Environment Day. Thank you so much, Chancellor Sir, Vice Chancellor Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, Amity University Haryana, all the HODs and the faculty members, research scholars, students who have joined us in this celebration. Thank you everyone for the World Environment Day celebration. Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh, yes, mine. One is in the now.